This is a Smoothie Media Radio.
Yeah.
Cook up.
Cook up show. We in here, man.
You heard me? The hell are you yelling for? You gotta let me yell first. We can switch seats, man.
Switch seats. You told me take over, so I felt like food.
Oh, I was just popping shit though, but it's okay though. But this is Cook Up where everybody get wet greens.
Ding.
And we here, man. We here with the OG, the legend, Mr. Mike Jones. Yes, thank you, man. We get some air horns for him, man. He deserves all of them, man. For real, man. Mike, how you feeling, man?
Good. How we sounding? How we sounding? How's everything going?
I believe everything is good. You agreeing? It's recording, right? You got it recording, right? No, it's all right. It's all right. No, not that one. The audio. There we go. Now we set.
Now we on.
Now we Gucci. Now we're here for an interview with my guy Mike Jones, man. So we just want to talk about a little bit of everything. So we had Mike up here for a few times. Yeah. We had him up here for a few times, but unfortunately we just couldn't have the necessary equipment needed to, record the interview. But now we Gucci, everything is straight, the cameras are straight. Right. So Mike, how you feeling, man?
Hey man, pleasure. Thank you. Shout out to you guys for having me on again.
Of course.
We're about to get this info. I need everybody on my live and their live. Support these gentlemen, man.
Yeah, man, we working, man.
Smooth. They gonna post, they gonna tag us, so we out here.
Yeah, that's a fact.
What we want to start off on this credit info, the real estate
info.
Hit this?
So me and Mike was talking in the car, and we was talking about real estate, and I was telling him that I want to be interested, or at least I want to get into real estate. So I was talking to him, and he said that he has some experience in it already. So all I want you to do briefly, real quick, is just to talk about how you got started in real estate and what was the and if somebody wants to get started, what's the steps that they should take?
All right. So I started in 2011.
Right.
My real estate with Rapid at the time. You got to do a 40. New York City. New York is 40 hours, mandatory. You got to take a class exam, and then after class exam, you got to take the state exam. There's one around Fulton Street. At that time, it was like $15, $25. And once that school that sponsors you have to be sponsored by a broker.
Right.
So that school has to send the necessary. Once you complete the state exam, they got to send both exams that you passed to Albany, to the state, and then you get to go.
So what is that exactly? You're a real estate dealer? What are you doing exactly?
They really call it you can look me up. It's called E-Access. Okay. And it's all any true real life they have a license state number, salesperson.
Okay, salesperson.
Right. So I can do houses, commercial, apartments, whatever, lots, buildings, co-ops, condos. I'm official on all that. And every year you have to renew your license every 2 years. And then you also have to do another, you got to do further education, like every 3-4 years to make sure you up to par with it.
When you say further education, you mean you have to get lessons?
Yeah, so there's laws. So you got laws, which is good, and there's thing which is, that's a whole subject too. Redlining is bad. And what they've been doing to black people, so say an agent saying, well, they'll take you to a place and they'll say, oh, well, you know what, this neighborhood might not be good for you. You know what I mean? That's illegal. All right?
Really?
It's illegal. If a licensed state agent mentions anything far as race, gender, sexual preferences, that's illegal. They can't say, well, listen, this is building. Even if I know that this building is owned by a Jewish company, I can't say that there's a Jewish company. You know what I'm saying?
But all right, so you can't tell the client that this neighborhood is bad for you or good for you. You can't give your personal opinion at all.
And if you do, it has to be that's on your own discretion. But if you say the wrong words and that person, so there are people out there who are fake customers,
right?
From the state. If you say something wrong, they can take your license away.
Really?
Word.
It's in the handbook, so you could just the real estate book
They sell it at Barnes and Nobles.
Right.
At the time, I think they was at edition 5 at that time.
Okay.
They might have updated it at that time. Like I said, I got my license 2011.
All
so
right.
that book is crazy. It's certain chapters. It's chapters on everything. And the way the laws are, you have to know that. Like you have to have. So there's forms that I have, disclosures that I need to give to every customer before anything that they need to sign.
All
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
I
That
see.
covers me, covers them, it covers the state, and that has to be your agency, your broker have to hold that. I think 2 to 3 years in the office if they ever get audited.
All right, I
Oh, it's
see,
real,
I see.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
What would be a reason you would tell somebody to get into real estate if that was a preference?
I tell especially all of us, we need to get into it because of the information of the laws that you don't know, that we just walking around have no idea. Because residents, that's guaranteed, right? That's the thing we need. You always gonna need shelter, like how food is food, shelter, and transportation, right? That's how life goes. So learning the real estate game is gonna be good for you even if you don't sell it, but because nowadays living in New York, quote unquote, anywhere, you need 2 hustles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
That's
that
a fact.
hustle is, if you're a people person, you know how to talk, your communication is good,
Right.
why not get a license?
Exactly.
The only reason why somebody might not get it, because they figure, well, some schools, at that time, that school was sponsoring me, so it was free when I went. But normally a class can cost $500, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's, people like, I don't want to spend the $500 if
Expensive,
I'm not
right.
going to go. But it's an investment. Like, if we can spend money, $200 one night at the $250 for
Right.
2 bottles trying to front.
Right.
Exactly.
And you doing that twice a month, or why not invest in $500? Because that $500, even if you did one deal, even if you sold an apartment, which nowadays, New York, a 1-bedroom is $1,700, right?
Right.
So if you had to break that in half,
Well, that's a
even
good
with
brand. You can find something for like 11, 12,
But
9.
Negative.
The minimum, yeah.
Negative.
Unless you're going deep in the Bronx.
Yeah, if you go into X, some
Deep.
places in
If
Flatbush.
And you gotta have Section 8.
If you find 1,100 apartment, find me. Call me. I got 35 customers, clients right now on Facebook watching, looking for 1,100. $1,100 apartments was back in 2012. No lie.
Right.
There was a studio in Eastern Parkway back then, right by us on Underhill.
Yeah.
The studio, smaller than this studio that we in right now, 1,500. So I can imagine, that was 2012, so I can imagine right now, that's 2 stacks.
But at
right
the same
now,
time,
the-
we live in a hot spot, though.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
We got the hot spot, but even if you felt like you said, and not no shout out bad to the east or Brownsville, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if you felt you went to the worst area in Brooklyn, a 1-bedroom is still probably going for 15, 16. If you get something less, that's because either it's an independent landlord and they giving you a basement and they really not going on the market value on what's happening.
Oh, I see.
Gentrification changed the whole game. New York, and it's smashing the East Coast. LA been hit. So it's crazy out there.
That's a fact.
2 bedrooms is going 22, 24. It's ridiculous. But that's what I'm saying, meaning investing, going back to what we're saying, investing in real estate, if you paid $500 and did the time, got the class, did it online, get it, whatever, and you sold 1 apartment with your broker, you would make that back on 1 apartment. Even if you never sold for the rest of the year, you made that $500 back. So that's why I would encourage anybody to do it if they can, if you feel like it's necessary.
So that was gonna be my next question. So is there a certain amount of percentage that you make per apartment? So say if you sell a $2,500 apartment,
Yeah.
how much the percentage is usually worth?
The broker.
Now, brokers.
That's included. It's included with the broker fee, right?
So the broker fee. This is what a lot of people don't understand, and this is where it goes hard body. Because
Right.
everybody feel like they can find an apartment on their own. If you can, blessings. I mean, nobody wants to pay a fee after they already got to pay first month in security.
Exactly.
Right?
Like they got beat
So-
head already. You know what I'm saying?
They're like, yo, Mike, I'm coming in 5,000. Like, I got to give y'all what? Now
Word.
some companies.
You feel me?
Yo,
Like
some
I
companies,
feel it. You know what I'm saying?
some companies, like the major ones, you know what I mean? Like, they charging 15% off the grip.
Right.
Okay?
15%?
Of the annual. Of the annual. So the annual, I'm gonna give you the numbers on what's annual. What 15%? I'm glad everybody watching, because people be calling me, yo, how does a broker fee go? So a broker fee, back in the days we used to do a month. And sometimes the landlords would pay us, so you would have no broker fee. So that's good. In some apartments that's 25 and above, the landlord will just forward us the security to pay us, because they know you going into an apartment coming in $7,500 is
Right.
crazy. Because $7,500 is a deposit on a house.
House,
Keep
yeah.
it in 1,000,
House,
right?
Word.
But going back to the commission, 15% of the annual,
Right.
where these big companies are hitting you, and small companies too, they might give you 12 or 10%, but 15% is doing 2,500 times the 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna come out. You're gonna be paying almost, let's say, $34,000 a year for that apartment alone. Or let's do a simple number: $2,000 on an apartment a year is $24,000, right? So you do $24,000 times 15%, and that's the broker fee.
Jeez.
Now 10% is $2,400 off the grid. So 12% is doing 2%. My number game is crazy, so just follow with me.
Right.
That's 240, which is 480. So that's gonna be 2880 if it's 12%. If they charge you 12%. 15% is 3% on top of 12, which is 240. So you talking about, I left you at 28, right?
Yeah.
So now you're talking about the broker fee about to be about 38, 3,600, 37, one time. It's a one-time fee, but that's what broker fees are. And that's why people in that real estate game right now. And every time you take that state exam, you're going to see about 50 people in the morning and the afternoon, because everybody watching TV thinking the real estate game, it's money in the real estate game, but New York has so many people doing it, it's a competition. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
that's what it is. So don't think like, oh yeah, I can just go in there. You know, you see a little, what's sad, now you see in the real estate mom and pop companies are getting, you know, they're getting washed away because people, one, they're not wanting to pay the broker fee, and people who've been here, they leave in New York because they can't afford the rent. If they can't afford the rent, they can't afford the fee.
All right. So let me ask you something.
Yeah, I got one too. Go ahead.
All
bro.
right. So you say that it's real difficult to find an apartment on your own. What is that process? Why is it more difficult to find an apartment on your own versus a broker? And what advantages do a broker have over somebody that's looking for an apartment?
So the advantage is, the reason why you go through a broker is because the broker has a relationship with that owner or that management company. Because that's the only two things you're dealing with entities as far as New York. You're dealing with independent landlords who might own brownstones, houses, or whatever. You rarely find independent landlords who might run buildings. There are a few out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I got an independent landlord. He has my building, 417 Washington, a couple of buildings. But the broker job is to make your job, because it's a job finding an apartment.
Right.
So the thing is that their due diligence is to do the work that you don't want to do. Like, all right, listen, I'm getting the keys to go here, because a person might want to see 5 places before they make a decision.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you can go on your own, like, you know, you go on Craigslist, you might try to find, and it's a scam here. Like, people was getting scammed. Dudes was giving fake keys,
Like
doing
crazy,
deals on the
like
street,
crazy.
losing money.
Damn, I sure you just got scammed for some bread.
See, it's so that's why it's important. That's why I tell people: if you're going with an agent and you ain't using me, and you can ask for my ID too, because I got one. But if you're going with a real estate agent, you always want to go to their place of business, regardless if you caught them on Street Easy, Craigslist, Zillow, Trulia, whatever website you found them on.
Yeah,
you need, you know what I'm saying? You need to see if they have an office. You need for them to pull out that ID. Make sure that ID is, you know, that state, wherever state, because I know we got people watching from different states. ID, the numbers on there, and you can follow them. Because you need to follow your money. Because once you see an apartment or even a house, co-op, condo, whatever you find, you need to you got to put a deposit to hold that for your application to go through. And then you're going to be paying an application fee. So instead of you doing that, before you do that, you need to know, where's my money being held? You need to read that paper. Let me know if I don't get approved, how long it's going to take me to get my refund back.
Right.
What process I'm going. If I'm giving you cash, I'm not getting cash back. If I give you a check, you know how you need to know that, because a lot of people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's important.
Oh man, that's incredible, man.
Yeah,
This is
This
is very informative.
Yeah, real estate ain't light work, man. It's real out there. And I would suggest anybody, if you know, when you, far as moving, know what your lease is. The lease be long, so people be skipping them. So you need to read. You need to go through that lease. You know what I mean? And just start, because they might be a stipulation on that lease that you don't agree with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like say they can say, well, listen, you can't change the paint of this room. Like if you can change a lease at the lease signing, as long as the landlord and you agree with it. Like, all right, you can cross something out. Say number 8 says, well, listen, you got to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You can cross that out, and y'all can write into it, and y'all both get copies. So, and what's good about a broker, another advantage with the broker, because he gets a copy of that lease too. So in case you got a problem with that lease or that owner's management company,
Right.
that individual, that broker is supposed to have a copy of your lease at least for a year or 2 years before they trash it. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
in
I
case
see.
the landlord acting funny, he trying to evict you in 60 days because you was wilding, your kids was running and da-da-da-da. And he like, I ain't got no lease. Now you lost your lease, he lost your lease. Where you gonna go to if you ain't got no lease? Now you going to court looking crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. Green, you had a question, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, what do you think about the market? Like, why do you think rent increasing? Will you think it decrease?
So it increased from, so me in the game of 2011 increased far as New York, and it's I seen it in Atlanta, in Florida, even Virginia Beach. I see you, D. McGuire, he watching, and my real estate agents is watching too, which is dope because they know what I'm saying. It's happening.
Right.
It's been increasing, so we play around with the word gentrification, but people don't know what gentrification really means. You know what I mean?
Right.
So boldly gentrification meaning like they're improving the area, right? But with that improvement, and I want you can tell me the changes you've seen. Your bodegas that had the graffiti and the double glass is now it's clear now, right?
Right, absolutely.
Now instead of you just seeing all the dirty potato chips, now you're seeing organic potato chips, right?
That's a fact.
Remember, we used to walk to Prospect Park, and in the middle of Flatbush, they didn't have those black barriers for a car. If a car ran through you, we had to just go through that.
Yeah, that's a
but
fact.
now gentrification, you got black barriers, so now you safe. Right. It's almost an insult to people who've been there in the hood because that means we wasn't safe and we was eating bad stuff for all these years. Yeah. So gentrification, right? We didn't have yellow lines in the street, right? There wasn't bike lanes.
No.
These are little things that. And the mayor I think that I just heard today, he about to put like over 50 million or 50 something for some bike lanes. And these bikers, they not riding with sense because they're riding with mentalities. They coming from different places.
As if they in cars too, right? Ain't that too? Right?
So you got people on their phones walking. It's such gentrification. Anybody want an improvement in their neighborhood? Everybody. We all want to live in somewhere safe, clean environment. But what it hurts is the individuals that been there who been through everything, even when it was coming up. They're shutting them out because not only that, if they don't know their rules where the rent is going up, but like the people that's coming in are not respecting the ones
people that was here for a while.
And then they looking at them like they shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? They closing doors like, somebody closed the door. If somebody closed the door, I'm sitting on my stoop. I'll be like, nah, we don't do that. And I'll open the door myself. And I got a key here. You know what I'm saying? Word. Because you gotta check these new people. You got to. Because if you don't check them, we ain't got to get to an argument, man. Just to let you know, listen, I'm here. I've been here. I got a couple of decades. So, yeah. Welcome to my neighborhood. Thanks for coming in. Because you might not even be here 6 months, 12 months.
Right, exactly.
So, what we really doing? You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what we all need to, we got to stop whispering and just be like, get together. And that's why I tell people, listen, like we was saying the last interview as far as the block association, they're like, we got to get it right because everything affects us, whether we think or not. People just think they going somewhere, going to work and coming to the crib, but nah, everything affects you. Gentrification is smacking you in all ways. Like the parking spaces, if they put city bikes on and take three parking spaces, doesn't that affect you?
Absolutely.
Right. And now they're trying to remove them now.
Yeah, see,
the city bikes now. Because they realize it's taking up too much room.
Exactly, but now they got the Revel bikes, right?
Right.
So they're putting things. Come on, see now those bikes they be in, and so that's gentrification. Like why they didn't rent us mopeds 5 years ago?
And that probably would have caused a lot less trouble. A lot less trouble.
Yo.
They started giving out motor scooters, renting out motor scooters.
Rebel. That's Rebel. That's Rebel.
Oh, yeah.
So Rebel is the motor. Rebel is the motor.
The little black joint.
Yeah.
I
downloaded the app because my car's out of town, so I don't have no car. So I was like, I'm gonna try. I didn't rent one yet because I'm kind of pissed off on it. But you got to put like a $19 fee or whatever, and they run your license.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Because we seen one parked on Washington, somebody knocked it down, and so you got it. So it's like a rental. You know what I'm saying? Like and they doing. If you look in front of the Brooklyn Museum, there's they put the Lyft signs on the bike. So like if you got a Lyft account, you can rent the bike with your Lyft account.
What?
Instead of going crazy. So like when I was in Seattle, in May, we went to the beach and they got an Uber. Uber has a bike. You can rent bikes too. Mm-hmm. So we was riding a bike. So it's cool, but I'm just saying like everybody needs to be responsible because these people are not from here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They not
Yeah,
from
a
Brooklyn.
lot
Like,
of
so
them.
Brooklyn is, you know, it's number one, and
Right,
you
of
know
course.
now it's gonna be crazy this season as far as you know Nets, Barclays, and all that, and
Right.
Kevin Durant and da. But it's just the fact that we got to get that level that those who coming in, just the respect level and the consideration for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why we running these. My opinion, that's why we got these blackouts. Cause you got people from all over. You got 4 people in the apartment. Don't you think they running 4 ACs in 4 bedrooms?
That's a fact.
Compared to a 4-bedroom, if back in the days, be honest, we had fans, son. Maybe one of us had an AC. One AC was running in the living room.
One in the living room.
Right, and that was it. And everybody
That was
cooled
it.
over the living room.
Yeah, right,
But think
right,
about
right.
it. So your electricity, the watts that you was burning per apartment back in the day wasn't as much as they was burning now.
Right, it was less.
So think about all these apartments, all these sky rises, and all these buildings. That's more people. That's the reason why these politicians are now going heavy on the census this year, because they need to know how many people out here.
Right.
What's the budget? What's going on? And now we
Exactly.
using these old ass wires from 1911,
Word.
and that's why they boom, man. Hoes are smoking. I think my building was. I was out of town, but my building was out. I don't know if your building was out.
Hell yeah, my building was out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was complete
Oh.
darkness. Yeah, we had a
Yeah,
blackout.
the blackout on the
Tuesday.
John, St. John's blackout.
oh,
Yeah, I
Some
think-
spots
it was
on Washington,
Tuesday.
and if you looked on the Con Ed map, it was popping on in different areas. You know, and this was after that big blackout that happened in Manhattan, which was 2 Saturdays ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it can happen, and this is where I know, and they're gonna dim. So like it's so many. This is how important people gotta know where the people coming in here. Son. Cause yo, I was on the train the other day, and I promise you the AC was on low. Cause they gotta dim it now, cause they don't know how to do with the energy.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So like the
Yeah, it's
escalators
good.
in certain places,
Has
they
to-
might
right.
go up, but they gonna cut them going down. You know what I'm saying? They gotta find
That's
a
true.
way to relieve this unless they get it. So the money they spend the money budget. You worrying about bike lanes? No, you need to upgrade the electricity system
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
New York.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Right. You're right.
Because you got
too
normally
much
it
going
was supposed to be let's say 8 million people in naked city. It looked like it's about 18 million.
Right.
That's a fact,
fact.
man. Yeah, the census is really
Including
important.
Yeah,
the
since-
newbies that come here because they like to rent out their little
You already know.
rooms to
1, 2, 3,
2,
4.
4,
So
right.
if nobody can, if you get into a 3-bedroom apartment and it's $3,200, you think one person can afford that?
Hell no.
Exactly. So you got to make 40 times the rent to get approved for an apartment. You understand? A lot of people don't know that. So if you got a $2,000 apartment, you got to make $80,000 a year. All right.
Just to be
Just,
considered.
you're right, exactly. So if you get a $3,000 apartment, you got to make $120,000 a year to get approved. So this is why you got people living with each other. Now I ain't gonna, and let's keep it 100. The book and everybody, you too, everybody watching, people are living with each other right now. They don't want to live with each other, but
Right.
they can't afford to live nowhere.
wow. Right, yeah,
So you got some fake relationships because, yo, the rent is $1,700-1,800. You know what I'm saying?
They gotta combine their
You gotta combine
annual
their
incomes.
incomes. So
You
you
know what I'm
sitting
saying?
there with little Mary Jo and them like, damn, that's the game.
So you know what? I want to transition to this. So we was talking about credit in the car too, and we was talking about how a lot of people credit is fucked up in the
Let's get it.
Right.
you know what I mean, especially in the African
Credit.
American community or the black
Hell
community,
yeah.
whatever
You
you want to
gotta get
refer
it.
it as.
Right.
So real quickly, man, because we
Yeah,
probably got
real
about
time.
10 minutes. We probably got about 10 minutes left. Just talk about
Getting that credit right and
Getting that
and
credit
credit
right.
tips. So boom, I'm gonna hit everybody. Rewind this part. This is important. You can type up MJ for Mayor Mike Jones credit tips on YouTube, but I'm gonna give you out a little bit for those who don't YouTube, whatever the case may be. Credit is very important. This is how this country runs on credit. Even though this world is in debt, I mean this country's in debt. Your credit is
well,
important.
every country's in debt.
Yo, you already know.
Yeah,
But
right.
we in billions of debt, which is
Right.
hilarious.
Right.
This is how important. And not to brag, but my joint is at 816 right now, and I work for that.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So I'm not talking out the other end of the other hole out my body. I'm telling you how to get it right. When you have a credit card, everybody, whatever your limit is, if you got $1,000 credit card right now, keep it under 30%. And what that means is, do not let your balance be over $300.
Or keep it at 250. That's a quarter.
That's a quarter.
Yeah, so
keep
let's
it, as long as you keep it under 30%,
Yeah.
and you're paying. And I tell people this too: it's always going to give you a minimum payment. So say the minimum payment say all right $24, and you owe a stack or two. Yeah, they want the minimum payment, but it's by law that they show you if you pay the minimum payment on your statement, it'll take you this many years, and this is how much you're going to get charged. That's a law now. It wasn't a law back in the day. That's why a lot of people are in trouble. But it's a law now, and every statement is important. Don't just pay your bills. Look at your statement, because sometimes you get charged something, and you're like, why did I get charged that? It'd be fees or whatever. Keep your thing under 30% and try to double your minimum payment. So if I owe if it's $27, I'm gonna try to give them 50 or 60 personally. That's how I got my credit up, because you're paying an interest every time you make a payment on your credit card. If you can pay the full balance before the 30 days is up, but getting your credit score, those who don't have any credit at all, go get a secure credit card.
Right.
Meaning you put your own money on that card, even if it's $250, $500. You're using your own money, but make sure your Social Security is attached to that.
Right.
Go purchase something, make a small purchase, and pay it off so you can get on board. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Credit scores is so important. I mean, house purchasing, apartment, condo, co-op, getting you a car, starting a business. Credit is definitely what you need to have. And I know a lot of people hit me like, yo, Mike, I got the 520s and 5-somethings. And go to creditkarma.com, man. It's free.
Download that app, man.
Download Credit Karma. That's my homie right there.
I gotta build my credit back up, though. I type fucked up on it, but it's all good. It happens. We
all go through it, but it's a learning process, and I think that's why we gotta talk about the education and knowledge.
Right.
If you don't know, you're not gonna get it right.
And everybody, if you have Chase, you know what I mean, you get a free credit report too.
Yeah.
Just all my Chase guys.
Credit. You got Discover give you free credit. I know my JetBlue card. Who they with? Barclays give you a free credit. Actually, a lot of companies are giving you free credit. Don't pay. You don't have to pay unless you feel like somebody's really trying to scam you, and then you get that security, that theft ID on it. But not for nothing, and you get a free report every year. People don't know about all the companies. So you got TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax.
All right. So quick question, Mike. So say you have multiple credit cards, and so would all those balances be accumulated, and would you still need to stay under that 30%? So say you have two cards of 2,000, would you still want to stay under the 30% under with both cards combined?
Definitely. So one card is 2,000. Say another card is another 2,000. You got American Express, or like I said, if you got a Visa, Discover. You keeping both of those under that 300. It's very important. Right. Oh, and let me give y'all a real tip, which I be smashing them with. This is what the other people do too. There are credit cards that will give you a free balance transfer with no interest for 12 months. So say my card is crazy. Like Chase be hitting you with the 17.99%, right? So they be killing you. I love Chase. I bank with them all the time. However, their cards be trash, and sometimes they give you a little the importance of they're well known, and they'll give you a little rewards, and you get your little cent on the dollar. But however, if your interest, meaning if I owe them $1,000, they're gonna charge me $1,025. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
on the money that I owe.
I think it's like 22.95. Like, yo, the interest rate is crazy. Crazy, boy.
So this is how you do that. So Discover will give you a balance transfer. So if you know you ain't gonna pay that $1,000 in the next 6 months, but you know they're gonna be hitting you with $20, you talking about $120, right? In 6 months. Right. Because you're getting smashed 2020. Right.
That's a fact.
You transfer that, even though that fee might be, they'll give you a fee of 3%, right? So it might be a quick 30. You like, oh, but I'm spending $30 to transfer. That's cool, because at the end of the day, in 12 months, you paying that $30 versus you paying $120.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that. Check the way your cards is, bro. Like, your cards is important. Your credit cards, you can transfer, see who your balance is. Make sure and keep us. People do not look at their statements, so. Look, I be catching JetBlue. They don't charge. JetBlue will hit you. Let me tell you, anybody go with JetBlue, the JetBlue card, when you buy an item on the plane, is 50% off. So I went to Seattle. I bought a Hero, like a sandwich, whatever. Sandwich is $12, but I know with the 50% off, it's $6.
Right.
So I'm like, it's cool. You can buy alcohol or whatever. The alcohol drink is about $7, but it's $3.50 if you use your JetBlue card.
Right.
On the statement, they never gave back the money.
Word.
So I was on them. Yo, listen, so when you the flight one, they got this is what they do. So it's called JetBlue. When you look at it, it's called JetBlue Gate Retail. And even though it's in so everything that you bought, this is how serious credit card people don't know. There's categories. So if you purchase something from the store, they'll say, okay, merchant. If you bought something from a different place, it'll say travel.
Right.
On all credit cards, but we don't know that. We don't look at the statement. So they had it in the wrong way where it didn't show that they supposed to give. I mean, I got it back. Right. But this is what important.
So
any card you use.
Did you think they did that intentionally, or do you think?
If you don't know, they're gonna eat you. They're gonna eat you alive. Right. Any card will. That's why people just pay the bill like they don't even know what their statements is. That's why it's check your credit every 30 days. You can check it twice, but check your credit score because your credit. So if you at the 520, people are paying companies, right? And it's cool, I guess, if it works. But this is what the companies do, because I did that. I did debt consolidation. Debt consolidation meaning if you got over $10,000, they can help you out. So what they doing, they're gonna call the companies that you owe. So say you owe one company $5,000, right? They're gonna negotiate with that company for the lowest that they can pay because most of that $5,000 is interest.
Right.
While you're paying them $350 a month, they're gonna build your $350 a month or whatever program you jump into the debt consolidation program. Save up to enough. So say they get 25 from you or 2,000, and their fee. At the end of the day, they take the money.
You already know they gotta get paid.
Everybody gotta get paid. So they're gonna pay. They're gonna take your money that you have, right? And call them back. Yo, listen, I got the lump sum, which we all can do ourselves.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But we pay companies to do that.
What, the 5,000?
Nah, you're gonna pay only the interest. Like my mom, we sold a house in Brooklyn. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a real story. My mom, somebody sent my mom 10,000. Right. She used whatever, like I don't know if she did home improvement. I was able to call that company and get the 10,000 down to 21 was 27. She owed another 10,000. I got down to 1,800.
So that's 1,800 on top of the 10?
No, that's it. 1,800.
Word.
Because I'm nice. So if y'all need debt consolidation, call your boy. I'm about to get a consultation office because you can and it won't look bad on your credit. It's gonna look still because it's you negotiated with them, so it won't be because when you look at your credit report, it goes 30, 60, 90 days. As long as you don't miss no payment.
Yeah, no, don't miss no payments on your credit card bill.
Especially if it's a minimum payment.
And if you looking, another credit tip. If you're shopping for something, whether auto or house or whatever, you have 30 days to shop with as many people on that same thing so it won't affect the credit. People are like, I don't want you to run my credit because it's going to go down. No, you can run it, but it got to be the same thing. So if I'm running the real estate, I can run it I can do 5 times in that 30 days. But I can't do
transactions.
Yeah, no, somebody can run your credit. So it won't affect your credit score because your credit score, if you got too many people running your credit, it looks bad on your credit score. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be trying to I'm going to go get a T-Mobile phone. I'm going to get a car, a house, Macy's card. So, all of that in 30 days.
So basically, what that does is it makes you look untrustworthy.
You looking suspect.
All right, I see.
Like, yo, why are you trying to get credit from everybody at this time?
Oh, see, that's something I didn't know.
That's what I'm here for, bro.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do it for the 30 days, and because if somebody runs it's called a hard credit check, it stays on your credit for 2 years, and then it comes off.
All right.
So it's important that anytime somebody running your credit, make sure you running a hard credit back, or you running a soft credit run on it.
All right, so we gotta get out of here. So Mike, I just want you to say one last thing, man.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the people should know about regarding credit and also real estate?
Be aware, educate yourself. If you don't know, don't have no ego and pride, and don't ask people like myself who know. Ask people who actually been doing it. Right. Don't have a conversation with people who have no idea. They don't have experience. And stop going to these people because they got the good commercials and advertising and you paying a whole lot of money. So real estate, look information and talk to people who are actually doing it. They will conversate with you. Even if you find somebody who want to be on some D-head kind of crap and they not answering, go to somebody else, B. It's all right. We here for you.
All right. So, that was Mike Jones, man. It's a pleasure to talking to him as always. Now I've been getting this young knowledge because, us young brothers need that. So you already know this is the cook-up where everybody been wet green. Steve. You already know we off this, man.
We out here.
All right.
Yeah. It's all about the level up. 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 Just give me a minute and I'ma step it up. Yeah. It's all about the level up. 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 Just give me a minute and I'ma step it up. Pardon me, I'm living on the ledge.